It seems like we are in a market of quiet chaos. Now, let me explain. We saw what happened with the Taiwan dollar today, but then we also saw Japan request removal from reciprocal tariffs and the US completely deny them. Then we also have recession fears coming up, peaking again, where people are saying, listen, there's a recession coming in 2025. Gold has gone up again, back up to 3,300 an ounce, up 2% on the day. But the VIX isn't rising. The VIX is basically flat on the day. It is up 1%. So why are so many things happening where it feels like we are panicking, yet the market is still holding up? We are in a weird situation. I'm going to explain it. We got some earnings to talk about, and we got to talk about AMC and GameStop. Watch until the end of the video. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, guys. Turn post notifications on. Without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, first things first, the SPY, the S&P 500 is at 565.68. We originally saw a drop in after hours yesterday. Then we saw, first we saw a drop in the futures market. And then we saw, when the overnight opened, a big sell-off on the SPY. And then today, the SPY has been slowly climbing, reclaiming itself, holding its levels. Now, from a macro perspective, you can see that the SPY is actually holding up very, very well. It's holding up very strong on the middle of this ascending parallel channel here and has not broken below. So again, this is a slow grind higher. Even zooming out, before I give you that, even zooming out, this is exactly actually what the SPY likes to do after a V-shaped recovery. You can see the previous one back here in 2023, the end of it, when we came out of this parallel channel, made a base off of it, bounced, and then we started to chop trade to the upside. If we look here, it's basically the same scenario. We broke out of this descending parallel channel, tested it, and we are chopping to the upside. As of right now, there are a lot of fears. I will state one thing. Institutions have not been buying back into the markets, and that's one of the big warning signals that I want to tell you. But that doesn't mean that we are necessarily going to sell off. I just think that they don't know. Now, we are still above the 200-day moving average on the S&P 500, which is this blue line right here, which is something that is very important because we came back up to reclaim it. Now, that is not to say that we won't sell off as well, because the SPY reclaimed the 200 right here before cracking back beneath it, which was essentially a failed breakout. We are now at the point where we are going to see if we are going to get a failed breakout or not. Bitcoin also saw a little bit of a retracement, and why this was a bad retracement, in my personal opinion, is because we got rejected at the 96,000 level. We made a wick above it, but we ultimately got rejected between 96, 97K, and now we are back down to 94, which is still okay. We are holding a support around 93,500. And we are holding an ascending support level that we want to see on Bitcoin. But ultimately, we do need to reclaim 96,000 by Wednesday, in my personal opinion, before that Fed meeting. So we will be watching for that. Now, on top of that, a whale just opened a $120 million Bitcoin short on 40x leverage. What do they know? Well, actually, I think market makers are essentially trying to get the bulls out of their positions and trap short sellers. This is my personal outlook. I do think very short term, the markets, the crypto markets are setting up for a short term wick down or a short term pullback. Now, all of this doesn't help that yesterday or over the weekend, GameStop sent out emails saying, "Here comes the doom," with the crash emoji. It's a little bit sketchy, to say the least. I want to talk about Palantir very quickly. It's up 0.5%. It's trading at 124.92. This is going to be an exciting one. It has earnings tonight. Discord knows which way we are playing these earnings. If you guys aren't in the Discord server, get in there. But ultimately, Palantir is pressing up on its all-time highs right now. And I want to know your thoughts in the comments down below where you think this one is going to go on earnings. As of right now, on the short time frame, you can see that there are major sell blocks just in this short range right here from a micro perspective. So that's something to note as well. Let me know which way you guys are playing it. I also want you to know that Wall Street Bets, Reddit is, or not Wall Street Bets, but Reddit is basically saying, let's load up on Palantir. They are loading up on Palantir for an earnings beat worth 2.7 million, and they're apparently holding through earnings. Is this a bunch of fake news, or are these fake numbers? I mean, there's no proof Are people bullish on Palantir? Is it going to set up for a huge trap and a huge sell-off? What I can tell you right now is I think how Palantir reacts, if things become bloody, we're probably going to get bad news on Wednesday. Just ultimately, I think institutions like to front run. HIMS also reports earnings after close today. Now, let's talk about AMC really quickly. Or not really quickly, let's just talk about it because we saw a spike in AMC last night where it jumped 5% and then they immediately brought it back down. It's held down. They're routing orders everywhere else. Donald Trump put out something. This is a tariff that will essentially help AMC, in my personal opinion. The movie industry in America is dying a very fast death. Other countries are offering all sorts of incentives to draw our filmmakers and studios away from the United States. Hollywood and many other areas within the USA are being devastated. This is a concentrated effort by other nations and therefore a national security threat. He is calling the movie theater industry, what other countries are doing, a national security threat. And he says, in addition to everything else, messaging and propaganda. Therefore, I am authorizing a Department of Commerce and the United States trade representative to immediately begin the process of instituting a 100% tariff on any and all movies coming into our country that are produced in foreign lands. We want movies made in America again. I think this is big news for AMC. Just shifting his stance in general. And then on top of that, he also retweeted, he basically amplified a post, a headline where it basically calls out Ken Griffin an out-of-touch, clueless billionaire. So that's something to throw on there as well. But ultimately, this is very good for AMC. If he looks somewhere, where is there to look? The largest theater chain in the US, right? I want to talk about AMC earnings coming up. I'm going to state something that you might like, actually. I think AMC, again, this is a very risky YOLO trade, but based on the amount of days we are into this cycle, I think there's a very good chance AMC jumps to above $3.93, which is about a 48 to 50% gain. I know this is a long shot, but I think we get almost above $4 on earnings, which is a 50% jump, and this will essentially kick something off. Now, at the very least, if we don't, 325, which is a 23% gain. Again, nothing I say is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but I feel like AMC has something coming for it, and algorithms also potentially have something coming for it right here. So this will be fun, interesting as well. XRT short interest. Again, this is just on one platform, skyrocketed to 1,310%. This is that same ETF that holds GameStop that was shorted 300%, now 1,300. Disgusting. Is it a glitch? Is it bad data? What do you guys think in the comments down below? Which brings us into GameStop. But real quick, before we do that, I want to state, get in my Discord server if you're not in there yet, guys. The link is in the top of the description. I post my trades as soon as I take them. We talk stocks and crypto in there. We also have analyst trade alerts, high success trade flow that you get alerts on in there, market news, dark pool trade alerts, insider trade alerts, and more. And we also talk crypto. Now, based on GameStop's cycles that we are in, the March, April, May cycle, right? GameStop is looking like and you can see this in the chart right here, we are going to get some sort of valley, a dip buy before moving higher, because that is exactly what happens during these time frames. And here's two examples of it right here. Same setup that we're in, where we get a massive sell-off and then a V-shaped recovery, massive sell-off, V-shaped recovery. If that is going to happen, let's block out some of the noise here. I will give you some levels as to if that is going to happen. The first target, and I'll bring you actually into a smaller time frame. The first target, if this does occur, that I have is right here. And we've already basically hit it. It's between $26.36 and $26. This is price target number one. We barely dipped into this zone, but we did bounce right off of it. GameStop obviously got a flush today. It's down 4%, trading at $26.50. The second zone, if we crack beneath $26, and this is going to be very dangerous, is sub 25. This is going to be between $24.75 and $23.50. And at this point, I assume we will get that bounce. Now, blocking out all the noise, well, a lot of these stocks, I don't like how that sounds. Let me just explain something to you. Yes, we get a V-shaped recovery after this ugly sell-off. Every time June 8th, okay? June 8th. Same thing, June 6th. We get a peak on the charts, okay? This is what happens with GameStop. So blocking out all the noise, will we continue selling off? Will we get a pop from here? What I basically think is we are going to see some sort of aggressive uptrend by June 8th. Okay, June 8th to June 12th, we have catalysts, we have algorithm, we have their earnings, we have MicroStrategy earnings. We don't know what's going to happen, but again, block out that noise. I'm still very bullish on GameStop here. And we could look at larger time frames. We'll look at that tomorrow. I want to see how the market reacts today. Now, Larry Chang posted this. Might we see more of this? And I don't think it's a coincidence. Personally, I think this is some accurate tin. I mean, break this down, decode this. He posts a picture of shorts, total $295, pay now, right? Duties, he highlights duties, right? Is it getting expensive for shorts? I don't know. What do you guys think about this, right? And then GME, I mean, I just think it's a long shot if it's not tin. I think it's way too coincidental for him to post something like this. So it's a hint at the community, someone to decode this. Moving on, let's talk very briefly. President Trump has ordered the reopening of Alcatraz. And then I want to talk briefly on MicroStrategy. It's trading at 380.35, down 3.56%. As of right now, depending on what goes on with Bitcoin, MicroStrategy is obviously going to follow it. Michael Saylor Strategy just buys 1,895 more Bitcoin, worth 180.3 million. So they did rip another Bitcoin purchase, even though Bitcoin is getting a little bit of a sell-off here, a little bit of a retracement. This could have been, and I'll state this right now, this is a key point for Bitcoin as well as MicroStrategy. Because if Bitcoin fails this level, okay, and this is exactly where charts can fail, a major level here. If it fails this level, MicroStrategy is going to have a very hard downturn for a very good amount of time, right, coming into the winter. And that leads me back to the beginning of the video where people are expecting a recession. I'll give you my take right now. Markets aren't looking weak. There's just a little bit of warning signals, like institutions aren't buying, right? So markets aren't necessarily looking too weak, but institutions aren't stepping in, and shorts are actually shorting more. Here's what I hope and anticipate, and ultimately is the more likely scenario since markets are strong. We continue to squeeze up, okay? This is best case scenario. We continue to squeeze up, and there's positive news on May 7th, and we essentially start squeezing all of these shorts that are shorting the market, and institutions will step in on good news. What I'm saying is there's tons and tons of money on the sidelines for the market, for Bitcoin, for GameStop, so on and so on and so on. There's a lot of cash sitting on the sidelines being ready to be fueled and put into this market. So overall, what do you guys think? Do you think we're going to get a crash and a sell-off and we're going to crack beneath the 200-day moving average again? We need to hold 562.40, so keep that on your charts. If we break under 562.40, we're probably going to see a bloodbath, in my personal opinion. That is the level that we will be watching. As of right now, we're $3 above it. Where are we going to go? We rejected off of my price target, essentially 565, and now we are in decision zone. Between today and Wednesday, you're probably going to see a lot of chop trading. But overall, guys, that is what I got for you for today's video. Again, let me know which way you're playing Palantir earnings here, or if you are not touching it with a 10-foot pole, drop what number like you are in the comments down below. Make sure to join my Discord server. It's a top link in the description. And then if you want a futures trading account, Top One Futures, make sure to go get that. That is the second link in the description. Using code LOTTO will get you 50% off. And then obviously if you want up to 60 free stocks, which is insane, if you guys don't have Moomoo yet, or your family member doesn't have it, sign up, make a deposit into there. That is it, guys. I love you all. God bless. Lottery Stocks out.